Hi guys, this is a video on factoring out a GCF or greatest common factor. This is always your first step in a factoring problem to check for a GCF. A GCF or greatest common factor is the largest number that divides evenly into each term of your polynomial. So we're going to consider our coefficients in each of our variables separately. So taking a look at our coefficients of 6, 9, and 18, the largest number that divides evenly into all three of these numbers is 3. Next, I'm going to take a look at my x's. So in the first term, I have an x squared. In the second term, I have an x, or an x to the first power. And in the third term, I do not have an x, so x is not going to be part of my GCF. Next, if we take a look at the y's, we have a y cubed in the first term, y to the fourth in the second term, and y to the fifth in the third term. My greatest common factor here is y to the third. Y to the third will divide evenly into each of these, y to the third, y to the fourth, and y to the fifth. We always take the smallest exponent. So 3y to the third will be my greatest common factor. And now I have to actually factor it out of the polynomial. So I have 6 divided by 3 is 2. I'm going to bring down the x squared. Y cubed divided by y cubed, any number divided by itself is just 1. So plus 9 divided by 3 is 3. Bringing down the x, and then I have y to the fourth divided by y to the third is just y. Plus 18 divided by 3 is 6, and y to the fifth divided by y to the third is y squared. Remember, when you're dividing, you are subtracting exponents of your variables. In the second example, we can see that our greatest common factor is m minus 3. It is being multiplied by each term in my polynomial. So I'm going to go ahead and factor out my m minus 3. And in my first term, if I divide out an m minus 3, I'm going to be left with an n plus 6. Plus, same thing, divide out m minus 3. M minus 3 divided by m minus 3 will reduce to 1, and I'll be left with n minus 8. Reducing a little bit, I have n plus n is 2n. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. And I'm actually not quite done here because I can still factor out a 2 from this binomial. So when I factor out a 2, I'm going to be left with m minus 3. 2 times m minus 3 times 2n divided by 2 is n, and negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. And that'll be my final answer.